Hit go live. We should be live. Why aren't we live? Are we live?
I'm refreshing to see.
Alright, so am I. There's the delay. Right.
Oh, looks like we are live.
We're good. We're good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Koopa and Friends. Forgot they were actually Jedi and are now reviewing movies. I'm here with TracerKrieg.
Guten Tag, mein Bruder.
The Swordsman 100.
Hello.
And Squasher.
How you gets?
And we're here to talk about some that I wanted to review for my channel, but due to, YouTube's copyright system and the fact that every time I review a movie, especially a new movie, it would get blocked in all regions, we're going to do this as a stream instead. So, let's talk about the Super Mario Brothers movie, shall we? I know some of you have been waiting for me to talk about this on my channel for a good long while. So now you're getting an entire hour and a half, or probably even more out of me from it. The caveat is it's all unscripted.
Oh boy.
And just a disclaimer for the audience here, I am a complete newbie to this franchise. So, accordingly, most of my stuff is going to be observations from the movie, questions about the franchise, and really just kind of letting the guys here talk about what's going on.
Yeah, we roped in Tracer just so we have an outsider's perspective.
In short, you get the whole spectrum. You got a trader, a casual, and a super fan.
Yeah, Squash is the fucking super fan. I haven't played Mario in years.
Which leads me to be the trader, considering I grew up with the Nintendo, with the NES being my first console, only to be enamored with Sonic the Hedgehog and betray Nintendo for Sega.
And look how that's worked out for you. You died at the Dreamcast.
And I don't have no regrets.
So let's talk about Mario a little bit. Let's go around, talk about our experiences with the series, maybe some of our favorite games and other Mario media. And since Tracer's list is probably going to be the shortest, let's start with him.
It's me, Mario! That's literally it. I know who Mario is, I know who Luigi is, I generally know who all the characters are and kind of what the story is. That's about it. I haven't even really played any of the games because I'm just not good at platformers. I'm an RTS shooter guy who occasionally dabbles in fighting games. I'm not a platformer, so yeah, I'm aware of the cultural impact of Mario, but that's about it.
It's like being aware of the cultural value of Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I mean, he is perhaps the most famous video game character, I would argue. I mean, you could probably go to some third world country and they'll likely know who Mario is, just not what he is.
Alright. Squasher, how about you?
Kind of like Superman.
Well, my first game was Super Mario 64 on the Nintendo.
Nice.
And I was mostly a fan of the 3D games. I did get into the 2D stuff later with my brothers. We would play Mario Wii U and Mario Wii, as well as 3D World. Mm. Although I think my favorite game would have to be Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh, very good one. Any experiences with the other Mario media, the comics, the TV shows, anything?
I actually seen some of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. And it's so meme worthy.
Yes.
It's funny.
Yes.
But I've never gone through the whole thing.
Nah.
The Super Show is fun, but the 3 cartoon is where it's at.
Mm. How about you, Swords? What's your experiences?
Well, like I said, I grew up with the NES, moved on to the Super NES.
That's your experiences with Nintendo. We're talking about your experiences with Mario.
Yeah, but that's pretty self-explanatory. That means Mario 1, 2, 3, Super Mario World.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
Gave up Super Mario 64 for the Sega Genesis, though I did see the cartoons. The Super Mario Brothers Super Show and Super Mario Brothers 3 cartoons.
No Mama Luigi.
No. By the time that was around, that where I lived didn't get that show, and I moved on, I think, to Power Rangers and the Sonic.am.
So you watched Super Show, but you never watched The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, I watched The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right then.
Like, I just never watched the Super Mario World cartoon. After a while, I eventually did get a Nintendo 64, but after that,
and all he ever played was Banjo-Kazooie.
No, I did play Super Mario 64, but that was like a long time afterward. And then I completely skipped the GameCube era, so no Mario 60 Sunshine or the numerous sports games that apparently actually have a lot of thought and heart put into them.
The world's best golf game is Mario Golf Toadstool Tour on the GameCube, and I am not even joking.
Skipped Galaxy 1, but got Galaxy 2.
So you skipped the good one.
Yeah.
You're weird.
Well, I got a Wii late in the race. And then Mario kind of didn't really care about continuity or its characters at all. So
yeah, Mario continuity, folks. He's the kind of person who plays Kirby for the lore.
Yes, that's why I moved on to Kirby very much, in fact. And I kind of gave up on Mario after that because it bored me. Like, I'm sorry, I don't play games for their gameplay. I know that's weird, but
he also reads Playboy for the articles.
Actually, I don't do either.
So I'm just gonna list off every Mario title I've played. So get yourselves comfortable. We're gonna be here a while. Mario 1, 2, 3, World, Super Mario RPG on the Super NES, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, Super Paper Mario, Mario Sunshine, Mario 64, Mario 64 DS, Mario Galaxy, not Galaxy 2 though. Galaxy 2 is poopy. What else was there? I played 3D Land. I don't got 3D World yet. I've played Party 4, 5, 6, and 7. I've played Mario Kart, pretty much all of them except for the one that was on the Wii. Some of the Mario sports games. I know I've played at least a little bit of the Mario baseball game. Like, I'm a fucking Mario Superman. If you put the fucking Mustachio Plumber on some, odds are I'm probably gonna get it. I even have the Mario and Sonic Olympic games.
Here's my question for you, Koopa. Do you have a Mario costume for Halloween?
No, because I am not, in fact, Movie Bob.
He's obviously would get a Koopa Troopa costume.
Yes, Tracer. Obviously. And before anyone asks, no, I don't have one to pre-ordered. I can't afford that many games in a year.
Oh, I did forget.
I'm just saying, man. You can't call yourself the Mario Superman if you do not have some kind of franchise costume.
That did remind me. I forgot about Super Mario 3D Was it 3D World that had the Cat Bowser?
Yeah, the 3D World had the Cat Bowser. 3D Land only had regular Bowser in a Kanuki suit.
I do have that one as well, because I do like Toad. And if we're counting Donkey Kong, I pretty much have all the Donkey Kong Country
Don't you
games.
mean Buckenberry?
No, we do not count Buckenberry. He's an imposter.
You're an imposter.
Let's not
No.
bring
Among
Among
Us.
Us into this.
Nor do we count Aligold.
Anyway.
Do.
So is that it for our experience?
Yeah, pretty much. So let's jump right into it. Before we get into the actual movie itself, let's talk about our reactions to the announcement and build up to this movie. Because, like, let's all of us be honest. The build up to this movie, before the first trailer hit, we all expected this to be a fucking train wreck. Like, not a single one of us can lie. This sounded like the worst thing ever. Like, it was first announced, hang on, I have it in my notes. It wasn't actually first announced. It was leaked during the Sony Pictures hack that it was going to be done by Sony Pictures Animation, but it turned out that wasn't the case. It was probably just being shopped around at that point. And then in 2017, it turned out they actually did get a studio, but the studio was Illumination, the studio behind the Minions movie and the Lorax.
Didn't they also do Despicable Me?
Well, yeah,
Yes.
but
Yes.
people only remember the bad stuff. Despicable Me is great, but
Yeah.
Basically, Despicable Me birthed the Minions, and the Minions ruined any goodwill Despicable Me got.
just like the rabbits killed all the goodwill
Okay,
behind
I
Rayman.
actually have to step in here for a second. I actually like Minions and Minions Rise of Gru, and I didn't really like Despicable Me 2, and I especially did not like Despicable Me 3. I'm the odd man out here, but yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, that's not very fucking hot of a take. That's pretty much how everyone reacts. Like, the Minions movie is memed on, but it's not actually all that bad.
It's not even close.
People just shit on it because they don't like the Minions.
I haven't seen it, so I wouldn't know.
I think it's more along
You need to
like
watch it.
Yeah.
what I think it is. It's more like what Koopa said. It's a rabid situation where the Minions basically replaced every other character, so it annoys the fan base of those movies.
Fair.
But
Well-
then we had a dedicated direct before the trailer came out, showing off the actual cast of the movie. And if we were already iffy about this being an Illumination movie, and we were thinking there's no way they're going to actually put any effort in this, they're probably just going to get a bunch of A-list actors to play a bunch of random roles. Then we had it announced that Mario was going to be played by Chris Pratt, Luigi was going to be played by Charlie Day, Bowser was going to be played by Jack Black. They got Keegan-Michael Kay as Toad, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, which actually started minor memes about Donkey Kong now being Danky Weed because Weed Lamau. And they even got Kevin Michael Richardson, who I love as an actor. He's great in everything he does, as fucking Kamek, which is the most random fucking casting ever.
Now,
Sorcerer? The Sorcerer Koopa?
Mhm.
Yes. Now, apart from everyone else, to be fair to the casting Jack Black as Bowser is the perfect choice. That fits a Bowser's character to a T. Especially if you're going with Paper Bowser.
Paper Bowser is not the same as Bowser.
Okay, especially if you're going with the Mario and Luigi interpretation of Bowser.
You mean where Bowser's a robot from an alternate dimension?
What?
Well, that's the Archie interpretation of Eggman.
Let's.
That doesn't make... That's a non sequitur. Like, that has no bearing.
Yeah, but we gotta kill some time because Tracer had to step away for a few minutes, so
Okay.
we might as well talk about that. So Eggman is from an alternate dimension, and he's also a robot.
Okay, let me clarify this.
1 second, fellas.
This is a twisted knot of a canon for Archie. So, after the original Ivo Robotnik died because Sonic killed him in issue 50, though that was technically Snively.
I'm back.
I believe it's pronounced Snively.
He got replaced by basically a future version of himself that was the same future that Nicole came from.
I have no idea who Nicole is. I only play the Sonic games.
Okay, you at least seen the cartoon, right?
Some of it.
Which cartoon?
Saturday.
Exactly.
Well, there's two Sonic cartoons that I know of: Sonic X and the other one.
The one where Sonic says, "Run away if some guy touches your pee-pee."
No, that's not the right cartoon.
I fucking love the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I even love the Sonic says.
I forgot that was a P. That was a PA. That he did. First you say no, and then you get out of there.
Anyways, the cartoon I'm referring to is Sonic Santa AM, which is the one with Sally and the Freedom Fighters.
I hear a cat.
I do too.
So let's update the text for we're not just Tracer, Koopa, Swordsman, and Squasher. We now also have a cat. This is a stream. If we wanted this to be completely consistent and on point, we would have done this as a video. Just saying.
You mean
Yeah.
you would have done it as a video? You dragged me here.
But yeah, the cast was so awful that, like, taking it outside of the movie, we have to talk about literally everything else because they didn't. Oh, so cute kitty.
Aren't
Oh,
Koopas afraid of cats, though?
that's
No.
mice.
But I thought the whole kitty cat thing that Mario would wear induced trauma into the Koopa troops. I could be
No,
wrong.
Koopas can actually use a lot of Mario power-ups, including the cat bell.
Yeah, they
Oh,
can
really?
use the Hammer Bros too. They can use the Boomerang Flower. They can use the Fire Flower, and that's pretty much it.
Yes, that does make sense. Yeah.
They couldn't even get, but back to the cast, they couldn't even get Charles Martinet into the movie. But, well, they did,
They
but he
did.
was a cameo role. 2 cameo roles, because, Swords, you didn't catch this. The first one is he was playing a guy who looks like Jumpman, the original Mario, whose name is Giuseppe, and, his role in the movie is to basically be the actual Mario voice, telling them that the Italian impersonations in the commercial are really good, which they were. It's like that. We'll talk about that when we get to talking about it. But the commercial was really good. And the other one is he also played Mario's father, but he did a different voice for that.
Father.
But you didn't know he was the Italian American guy in the pizza place.
So, wait.
Wait, third
Jump.
one?
No, 2. He was the
'Cause I knew
Italian
he
American
was-
guy, and he was Mario's dad. It's just that they weren't the same person.
So Jumpman is not Mario's father.
Jumpman is not Mario's father. Some bald guy named Papa Mario is Mario's father.
So another thing that Matt Pat was wrong about.
Mm-hmm. And
To be fair to his theory video, ironically, he kind of got the general gist correct. the movie did find a way to both make Wrecking Crew and the Donkey Kong mythos work into the movie.
Kind of.
Just not in the way he said it would.
Kind of, but Jumpman is not his father. Pauline is a separate person. She's actually the mayor of New York, which explains why there isn't as much crime. Anyone but a fucking Democrat.
Well, unless you count Spike.
Yeah, Spike doesn't count. Spike's a fucking contractor. They're all gruff.
Have you played Wrecking Crew?
He is not a criminal. He's a demolition man, sorts.
Yeah, he's not.
He's paid to break down the buildings. That's what he's been hired to do.
Yes, but is he paid to kill Mario and Luigi?
That's not. That doesn't happen in this movie.
Exactly. But no. Tracer, you're back. The cast was fucking meme-worthy, and everyone thought this was gonna be absolute dog shit. And then we saw the trailer, and it looked awesome. And the only people who hated it were, crazy lefties and terminally online right-wing culture warriors. And then the movie came out, and everyone loved it. And we loved it so much that we're already kind of talking about it.
Yeah.
Now, what's very notable about this movie compared to all others video game adaptations,
it's actually good.
No, that's not what's notable about it, because there are good video game adaptation movies.
Name one. And not the Sonic movie. Other than the Sonic movie, name one.
Mortal Kombat.
All right, fair enough.
I guess you could consider it Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
It's iffy.
It has its moments.
It does.
Well, I was going to say what was notable about it is, compared to every single video game movie, even the good ones, this is the first adaptation to actually be super faithful. Apart from a few things.
To Mario. Keep that super faithful note in mind, because I'm going to mention something later.
Apart from a very few things, this is as pretty much as faithful as you can get. Which even the Sonic movie did not do.
Of course not. They cast fucking Jim Carrey instead of Danny DeVito as Eggman.
Even beyond just faithfulness, I'm just going to make this quick. Even beyond the faithfulness, and I think this is actually more important than that, it's just a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the same reason I like the first Mortal Kombat, which I'm actually very familiar with the lore, and I can point out the multitude of mistakes of it, but I'm willing to ignore all of that just because it's a fun, watchable movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same case with Super Mario. Like I said, I have no real interest in the franchise whatsoever. And I really wasn't all that interested in watching the movie because of this. I heard it was good, just didn't really have an interest in watching it. And I only did so for this review, but I came away with it really liking it. And I think it is a benefit that it was Illumination who tackled this, because a lot of the same reasons I like Despicable Me is the same reason I liked this movie.
I don't think anyone but Illumination could have done it this good. I don't even think DreamWorks could have done it this good. And I love DreamWorks.
I don't think so. Because it boils down to this. This movie doesn't try to pretend to be anything other than what it is. It's a fun family movie. But that's where its strength is. It doesn't have an overcomplicated plot. It doesn't try to push any kind of particular messaging or theme.
Yeah, it's not trying to say that girl bosses are better than Mario crazy culture warriors who think this movie's the wokest woke that ever woke because Rainbow Road is in it.
Which, it's always been in the franchise. Even I know that. But what makes this movie just pop is the heart to it. Strip away everything else about it. Strip away the video game aspects of the movie. What is this movie about? It's about Mario ultimately discovering himself.
Mm-hmm.
This is a guy who has failed in everything he has done, and the only thing that he genuinely kind of manages to hold on to is his relationship with his brother. Which also, I just gotta say, I always love it when we have a good brother relationship. I kind of envy that. But point is, this is a guy who's been stepped on, who's been ignored, who's been ostracized, who's been told you're not good enough, and this guy, through persistence, hard work, and honestly just a good slice of integrity, defeats basically the king shit of the universe. He proves I am worth something. He proves, despite, like Arnold Schwarzenegger says, ignore the naysayers. And he does it. He wins. And he wins big time. He gets his brother back, beats the bad guy, arguably gets the girl at the end. It's very much implied, he's going to get with Peach here at some point. And on top of that, he moves to a place where he just feels valued.
And even more than that, I'm going off what you're saying about the brother relationship. Like, people said, once it came out that Princess Peach wasn't going to be the damsel in distress, but instead it was going to be Luigi, there's no way this movie could have done the exact same plot with Princess Peach kidnapped, because who is Peach to Mario? He doesn't know her at this point, but he knows who Luigi is, and he's always there for him. And he has to, go up above and beyond for the sake of his brother. Luigi's the only one who respects him. The only one who he can actually depend on to be at his back the entire time, and he's gone. It's partly his fault. It's mostly his fault.
Kip? Squawker, go ahead, and then I'll go after you.
Another thing to consider, even if we did go with the idea that Peach was captured, why would the Toads ask him for help? They don't know who he is.
Exactly.
And even the movie acknowledges that. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows who he is. So, there's that.
I mean, on top of that, Luigi isn't really that much of a damsel in distress in the fact that he is able to, fight. He does ultimately manage to, get away from the, I believe you called the dry bones, these skeleton Koopas.
Yes.
Yeah, his undead brothers.
And he was able, obviously get to the castle, he's captured, what have you. But at the end of the day, he still is able to free himself. He is able to go in and help Mario defeat the bad guy. And as far as Peach, being competent, again, here's the thing. It's handled very tactfully.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't rub it in Mario's face, the fact that she can do all these things, better than he does, because everything just makes sense. She's been there for years. She's been raised by these people.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a world where jumping through tubes and platforming, what have you, is pretty much as natural as getting in a car and driving somewhere.
And it's even shown in the beginning when they're running to their first job that Mario isn't completely incapable. He was doing all that parkour shit when they were trying to get to the job, and he's able to carry that over into just getting to Peach's castle. It's shown that he's not completely incapable, and even when he's doing the obstacle course, it's just a more advanced version of what he's already used to. But if it was anyone else, they would be failing a lot more frequently and a lot faster. They wouldn't be picking it up as handily as he is.
I just gotta say, I kind of feel like that. I'll make this quick. I feel like that entire scene it kind of speaks to me, because that's me. That's literally me trying to play any kind of platformer. I suck at it. So I get what you're going through, Mario. I would be the same. I'd probably be worse because I don't platform.
And people forget that even though Peach is most of the time the damsel in distress, there are a few games where she is the playable character.
Super Mario RPG, she's a party member. Super Paper Mario, she's a party member. She's basically the hardest AI in all of the Mario Party and Mario Kart games. Super Princess Peach, she goes out to save the day. They even announced a new game with her.
she's there. The reason why she's there is not only does she act as a guide. It's like because no one knows who Mario is. It's also so that Mario and Peach can fall in love naturally.
Yes.
And on a note of that relationship, I mean, they have really good chemistry with each other. And it also helps that Peach is just kind of a nice lady. You know, even when Mario, messes up and what have you, she still comforts him. She still is nice to him. And they very much seem to kind of hit off, I think, because Peach is obviously a princess, but for all intents and purposes, she's a queen. She's a ruler. She is basically the head executive of the government there in the Mushroom Kingdom. Which means she has to put on a particular persona when she is commanding, when she's ruling. With Mario, she can drop that. She can, basically be somebody she probably can't be with anybody else, because Mario is human. She can relate to him, and she can relate to, his struggles. And we do see that, and that's what makes the relationship just work. Also, the fact that, they got really good voice actors in this, which, full disclosure, everybody else, I am a voice actor. That is basically my side job. And I gotta say, for Chris Pratt, who doesn't really have a whole lot of repertoire when it comes to his voice acting career, he's really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he even, let me put it this way, I can't tell it's him. And he pulls up a really good New Yorker accent. So, kudos, man. If your film career somehow fails, go into voice acting. You got a natural chop for it.
I mean, it's not his first. He was also in Onward with the guy who plays Spider-Man. Onward was kind of crap, but he was actually pretty good in it.
Mm-hmm. Probably helps, Parks and Rec. He develops himself as a really good comedian.
No, wait, he's also the star of the Lego Movie, so it's definitely not his first time.
That's right. Yeah, he was Emmett.
He was Emmett, and he was also evil Emmett.
So yeah, he's already got some stuff under his wing, but still, good job, man.
Yeah, when we were talking about the cast earlier, we were saying they were just going to get an all-star, star-studded cast that, just for the sake of using their name recognition to get eyes on what would be a bad movie, but it couldn't be further from the case. There's an all-star cast bringing their A game, all of them.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And one of the things the movie does that actually is better than the games is it has a lot of respect for these characters.
Mm-hmm.
And uses them not only faithfully, but also with respect.
Seth Rogen isn't making weed jokes. That alone is a miracle.
And on that matter, I do have 2 hot takes.
Okay.
1, Toad should be combined with Captain Toad and basically just be one character. And 2, I'm glad that the movie went with Donkey Kong and had him be like the brute strength character instead of Wario.
To be fair, I think Wario would be introduced later on, and if they ever make sequels.
Oh yeah, Wario can easily be in a sequel. Hell, Wario can easily be in his own movie, as much as Swords wouldn't see that.
Well, I want Wario to at least have, like... I want him to have, like, the Team Rocket role at least once, like in Super Mario Bros. Z with Waluigi.
So you want Wario to have his villain phase, but when they do it to Venom...
That's the thing. They don't...
Damn fighting words there, Koopa.
That's the thing. They don't do a villain phase. It's just all villain all the time.
Wario's just misunderstood. He likes his money.
Yes. What's wrong with liking money? Are you going to say it's wrong for Yellow Flash and Ethan Van Sciver and Mauler and Rags and literally all these people to like money because it makes them horrible people and they do really stupid and selfish things because they just want money.
That wasn't what I was going
Not
for,
to detract
but
from the,
sorry.
not to detract from the current conversation, but there's something kind of interesting since we're discussing villains here that I did notice. And this is because I am a history buff, so I did kind of pick up on this. But very start of the movie, we have Bowser and company, basically show up to do battle with the Penguins. Right?
Yep.
What I kind of notice is both the Koopas and the Penguins really don't have a concept of war. Like with the Penguins, it's really obvious. They're throwing snowballs and shooting ice cubes.
Do
at the Koopas,
you
which does
yield?
absolutely nothing.
That was but a
and the
taste of
Koopas-
our fury. Sorry. Go ahead.
With the Koopas, okay, they have training. That is true. They know how to march, they know how to go into drill, they know how to go in formation, but when it comes to actual battle prowess, they're scared about the Penguins. And we even see this, later on, where only kind of exceptional, hardcore, very aggressive commanders really are able to do much with these guys. And of course, you got Bowser here, who shows up in his giant, overtly evil skyship. Which, there's kind of a contrast there. We have an overtly evil skyship compared to the Koopas, who look very kind of normal. They're not evil looking. That brings me to a point. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I kind of feel like Bowser is a reference to Mussolini.
Yeah, a little bit.
And the Koopas are Italy.
Yeah, a little bit.
What I mean by this is, Bowser obviously is kind of the big, strong man, obviously fascist type, who is galvanizing. In the case of Italy, for example, they had just gotten out of a war where they got very little out of it. They're having to deal with, obviously, communism trying to take root. You have the socialists there. You have an economy that's kind of going in the toilet. You have dissatisfaction with the monarchy. And here comes Mussolini, strongman Mussolini, who proposes a series of economic reforms, which does actually fix quite a few things in the Italian economy. He proposes a nationalistic identity that more or less proposes to rebuild Italy into the Roman Empire. And people liked Mussolini. As crazy as it sounds, they actually liked Mussolini. Unfortunately, his administrative skills were kind of lacking, but
I mean, what do you expect? He's a socialist.
Yeah, well, I guess you could say sort of ex-socialist. That's how neither here nor there. The point is, Bowser, I think, epitomizes this. He is the strong man. He was more or less kind of a peaceful race, and more or less talked them into, we are the master race, we should go out and conquer the universe.
And that's very much how it's implied to be in the games, particularly in Paper Mario, where Kami Koopa, his basically henchwoman, says that outright.
The only difference between movie Bowser and game Bowser, and this is the shared trait of all Bowsers, is from all game Bowsers, I should specify, is that game Bowser really does care for the Koopa Troop, and the Koopa Troop does care for Bowser in turn, while movie Bowser doesn't really care one way or another for the Koopa Troop.
He literally kills a few of them by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the other thing I kind of noticed about Bowser. He's basically comic Thanos.
Kind of.
Okay, difference between movie Thanos and comic Thanos. Movie Thanos wants to pursue his genocidal idea of balance. Comic Thanos
just wants to get laid.
Just wants to marry Death. Yeah, he wants to get his woman. And Bowser's the same way in this.
Yep, same in the games.
Same in the games.
Literally to impress the princess, to get her to marry me so I can rule the galaxy.
Well, the mushroom, whatever the I have no idea what what this world is. Actually,
Oh, you have no doubt in mind that if he managed to conquer this world, he ain't gonna stop. He's gonna advance. He's
Super
gonna take
Mario
over
Galaxy
places.
is proof of this.
And they already
Yeah.
referenced the Mario Galaxy as a teaser in Peach's speech to Mario on their the Fire Flower fields. She outright references that there's many galaxies.
Some of them have star
And the
bunnies.
funny thing is, this also reminds me of another villain. I don't know if any of you guys watched the original 1980s Flash Gordon, but he's a little bit like Ming the Merciless, played by Max von Sydow, where, again, he's this kind of all-powerful dude, his military's a little incompetent, but no one really wants to threaten him because, again, he's the big strong man. But, again, all he wants to do is just get laid with this particular Earth woman. And he has kind of a murder-tier grudge against the main hero because, well, the chick he wants to get with is actually interested in the main hero and not Ming. So he repeatedly tries to kill this guy.
that does come across in the movie, especially since Bowser. To be fair, he has no idea how Peach and Mario's relationship is progressing. So it's like, why are you so worried, buddy? But then again, I guess he's just.
He's never even gotten to hello. That's why he's so worried.
That's fair.
He is
That
a
is
dork. He's a Dorcas Malorcus. And that's
So
the way
speaking
Bowser is supposed to be.
So speaking of the relationship, Illumination probably didn't intend to have this come off as creepy. But to give you context, Tracer, Kamek is the closest thing Bowser has to a father.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Oh no!
So
I can actually make it worse for you guys, and I'll try to keep this as PG as I can. Out of curiosity, and I do this for any kind of franchise I get into, like Resident Evil 4 remake or what have you, I go onto a certain site just to see what's there.
Oh no!
Because I'm genuinely curious. I want to see, okay, what are the artists up to? And, yeah, there are certain things with that particular scene. And for people who don't know, Kamek basically, Bowser's trying to practice
his pickup lines.
His pickup line with Peach, so he has basically his advisor dressed up as Peach. Now, here's the thing. That's also kind of a reference to Despicable Me, because that's something Gru did. And he's trying to practice to get with, I forget what her name is, the redhead, the super secret agent. And so he has a minion dress up as her, so that's kind of a reference to that. But the point is, yeah, the artists took that and ran with it, and it's a little disturbing.
Oh boy. This is
Now-
a kid's movie.
Now-
Sorry.
to be fair, you could write that off as Kamek just wanting, grandchildren.
You can also write it off as men in drag used to be funny and weren't trying to rape your kids.
Yeah.
But there's also the amount of abuse Kamek also gets, which Bowser never did apart when he was a baby.
He stomped on him and kicked him off the stage, George.
Which game was this?
Yoshi's Island!
Yeah, that was baby Bowser. I'm talking about normal adult Bowser.
Oh, when he crushes his fingers on the piano?
Yes.
Yeah, that was just mean-spirited.
Why?
Like, why would you do that?
Because pain is a good teacher.
I mean, it used to be the thing that differentiated Cammy from Kamek. Because adult Bowser would treat Kamek with respect, but Cammy would be the one he abused.
To be fair, Kami only exists in the paper games.
Do you think they might have just combined the two characters into one, and that's why we got this guy getting...
It's entirely possible.
abused?
Yeah. To be fair, Illumination seems to be going with the more popular idea. Like, instead of having multiple characters that could be the Toad, there's now only one Toad that is Toad.
And his name is Toad. It's like being
Yes.
a human named Human, or a dog named Dog.
I mean, we have a character literally named Yoshi.
Who's a Yoshi?
Yes. Which is separate from the Yoshi that saved Mario when he was a baby.
Who is also named Yoshi.
And and I kid you not, that Yoshi is acknowledged not to be the same Yoshi that pals around with Mario, but is either the father or grandfather of said Yoshi, who was born around the same time as baby Mario and is one of the 7 star children.
Yep.
That actually brings me to a bit of a point, and I think that this might actually explain why this movie is so good. I feel like the basis for this adaptation was not actually Mario. I mean, yes, it is an adaptation of the Mario games, but I really think that actually it's an adaptation of Spaceballs. Think about it for...
Then where's Mel Brooks? Why
The
didn't they get
villains
Mel
are-
Brooks as Cranky Kong then?
I know, but there's a scene that I think illustrates this perfectly. Bowser, obviously this is the musical part, Bowser sings and plays a piano, and he's, putting his heart out to Peach and what have you, and then his advisor shows up. And the way that this is shot, the way it is acted is literally the same as, Lord Helmet, what is it? Why didn't you knock? Knock next time. Yes, sir. Did you sing anything? No, I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
No, that actually kind of makes sense. And it would explain why he would crush his fingers then, because he caught me in an embarrassing moment.
The thing is, though, that it both fit Game Bowser, so I don't know if it could go either way, because that's like something Game Bowser would actually do.
I mean, yeah, a lot of the jokes are very similar to Spaceballs. Quite a bit of the action is a little similar to Spaceballs. And I think that's a good thing. I think that just explains why they just had so much fun with this movie. Because they're like, no, we're not doing a video game adaptation, really. We are basically making a homage to our favorite comedy movies. Which, I guess that's a good way, that's a good approach, I guess.
You can't really do a video game adaptation of Mario 1, for example, because it's literally just run right until you get to the castle.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much how all the Mario games were for the longest time.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what you mean by Mario 1. Do you count Mario 1 as Donkey Kong? Do you count Mario 1 as the Mario Brothers? Do you count Mario 1 as Wrecking Crew? Technically, the Mario Brothers just took all 4 games and kind of put them in the blender with Donkey Kong Country.
True.
Also, I need to point this out a little bit. The very end of the movie, we obviously have Mario unintentionally caused Bowser and everybody else to get sucked onto Earth.
Hmm?
That's first contact. Like, we literally just had an alien invasion of our world, and some rando plumbers from Brooklyn just beat the shit out of, the King's Shed tyrant over there. I don't know if anyone, obviously you guys are very familiar with this, but for the audience, there's an anime called Gate. And the entire point of this anime is, we discovered that there's a generic medieval fantasy world with dragons and knights and wizards and what have you. We discovered this, so what do? We send military forces over there to liberate it. Why? Because we want oil. I mean, that's not really the reason, but we all know that's the reason. We're there for oil.
I mean, technically, it's the
hate to say it,
Japanese
but I
military.
kinda-
They're there for rice.
Yeah, either way, we're there for resources. But the point is, I kind of feel like well, realistically, if we take out the video game aspect, take out the cartoon aspect, realistically, that is exactly what the governments of our world want to do.
What are you talking about?
wait a second,
What
you
first
okay?
what first contact? Please look into this little pen light flash. You did not see
sorry.
you did not see a 9-foot tall turtle fighting a rainbow colored man and his brother. What you saw was a gas explosion.
Tracer, Koopa.
Yeah.
We're not going to get Gates. It is very obvious that they were setting up Punch-Out as the next movie. So what you're going to get is Mario refereeing
Swords.
Lil Mac versus Donkey Kong.
You can't have that because the Punch Out Pizzeria establishes he's already the world champion.
Yes, but
You
in the
can't.
sequel Wii game,
You can't.
in the Wii game,
I know what happens in the Wii game. You can't make a boxing movie out of just one fight, unless you're Rocky. That's the only
just
movie that's
saying,
allowed
guys.
to do it.
yeah, I want that
Just-
Rocky
just-
homage.
Go ahead.
But he's already the champ.
Go ahead,
Let's picture
Tracer.
this for a second here. The Russian mafia or whatever criminal organization that will inevitably move in, and they set up the black market. Just imagine Koopas with AK-47s and the penguins have flamethrowers and the Mushroom Kingdom, because we obviously got from the Toad guy who was played by Keegan Michael Key. Since we already know that going off of him, they like big things. You know, they like big trucks and what have you. They're going to be driving around with M1 Abrams. They
Okay,
got some Bradleys.
Koopa,
They're just rolling around with tanks.
Koopa, I need you to do me a favor.
What?
I need you to show Tracer an image of the Pinata Mafia.
What Pinata
There's the
Mafia?
Pinata Mafia. Are we talking
There
about
is-
actual pinatas here?
They are a race from Super Mario Sunshine, and they have a mafia.
Pianta, the Pianta, not Pinata.
The pinata.
Pinata.
But yeah, there's a Pianta
Aren't
Mafia,
they call- dude,
and
I'm
they
from
fight.
Mexico-
And
I'm
they
from
fight.
Mexico, dude. We call it pinata.
No. A
Yeah,
Pianta is the
pinata.
race. These are guys with really big guys with palm trees on their heads. They're called Piantas.
And
They're not
They have
Pinatas.
massive noses. They're basically like they live on the island that you play on the game. They live on the island resort. They're super funny.
So
They
they're
arrest you.
not colorful cardboard horses with candy.
No,
That you
No,
beat up with,
no.
with baseball bats.
No. Think more colorful tree people with guns.
them being a
Disappointed. I wanted to see
Fighting
pinatas.
fighting the
AK-47s.
Mexican cartel run by a snail man whose minions are all vultures.
Also,
Oh
there's
god, they probably have Sicarios then.
there's a good amount of evidence that they intentionally framed Mario for Bowser Jr.'s crimes that they knew were not Mario whatsoever, simply to force him to clean up the city.
To be fair, Al Delfino is a banana republic.
That is
Yeah.
very true.
Are they pushing coke by chance, or methamphetamine, or something?
Possibly.
Do they got blue sky over there?
We're
Quite
talking about a
possibly.
society that constantly partakes in mushrooms. What do you think?
That brings us to something I didn't like about the movie. Mario hates mushrooms.
That is
Fun-
honestly kind of funny. Go ahead.
What makes that even funnier that you brought that up as your first dislike is guess who introduced that?
Who?
Miyamoto. I kid you not.
Yeah, he went to Illumination and was like, "You know what was super funny? We make Mario hate mushrooms."
That's genius. Miyamoto proves to be the best guy ever, who's not the one responsible for the Sticker Star trilogy.
I will say this, Mario. If you want to actually, get to love mushrooms, you need to make a portobello. You need to make a genuine portobello with cheddar cheese, and just throw bacon and hamburger meat into it, and you cook that sucker at 350 for about 20 minutes, and you will have, I swear to God, one of the most delicious dinners you will ever have.
I don't mind mushrooms. I just can't really taste mushroom. They kind of taste like cardboard to me.
That's the point. You're not supposed to taste the mushroom. The mushroom is like tofu, but the idea is that it's designed to hold what is within the mushroom, and that's what you taste. And on top of that, the mushroom itself absorbs juices like a sponge. So that's why you gotta cook it with other stuff.
To be fair, the mushrooms that he gets from the Mario, from the bizarre world, I don't know what to call it.
Mushroom Kingdom.
The Mushroom Kingdom literally gives him superhuman strength and power. I think he will eventually come to love him.
Just add
Except
that
for the
to
mini one.
jalapenos, man, and you will love it.
Except for the mini one. The mini mushroom is
A real
it's
power
useful.
up.
To be fair, it does have a use in the games. It makes you super fast and able to go through tiny gaps. But yeah, I wouldn't trust it.
As for my dislikes, besides making Bowser no longer care for his minions, there is the standard removing the original score for pop songs.
Oh yeah, because I was gonna talk about the content, but then I decided, yeah, we're probably gonna get copyright struck if we show him the cut songs. But like, I don't know if it's a feature or not on the 4K Blu-ray. It might be. I don't got the Blu-ray yet. Again, money. But if it is, you should listen to the movie with its original soundtrack. Well, I don't mind the pop songs. I don't mind "Take on Me" and "Mr. Blue Sky" and all that. The original soundtrack is so much better.
Like, I like those songs as well, but once I heard the original song that they had for the Donkey Kong segment.
The DK rap?
No, not the DK rap.
No,
This
it's a
was
Donkey Kong country song.
It was it was a melody for when the driver was taking them to
The driver, who
Funky
I'm
Kong.
convinced is Funky Kong, and you can't convince
He's
me
not Funky
otherwise.
Kong. He's not Funky Kong. He looks nothing like Funky Kong. In a Kong that looks more like Funky Kong, complete with sunglasses and bandana, appears in the Cart Rainbow Road sequence.
Well, he's clearly not Swanky Kong. Or Bluster
Anyways.
Kong.
Actually, since we're on the discussion of the movie's songs, the pseudo rap that we actually hear, I call it pseudo rap because it's more like a song, but that we see for the Mario Brothers, the Brothers theme, it's colors. It's just straight out the rap colors. It has the same beat and more or less the same flow to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's probably because it was taking. It's pretty much one for one the original theme song for the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, just with the. I think the narration taken out, if I remember right. It's been a while.
I mean, there's even a part in there where they're saying the brothers. It's the same as colors.
Oh no! If you're talking about from the commercial, no, that's straight up the Super Mario Super Show theme.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's got the same beat and style as colors, so that's probably where it got taken from.
Yeah, but the Super Show is from a long time ago.
Wasn't the Super Show made in the 80s?
Yes. Where the Mario Brothers
So
and
are you
plumbings
saying
are
that
game.
Colors was inspired by Super Mario?
Yes.
We come full circle.
And remember, Tracer, if you do drugs, you'll go to hell.
Before you die. Which is
That's
honestly really
This
apt.
game, in which case they give you superpowers.
I kid you not, that's an actual Mario quote.
That's Captain Lou Albano. That's one of the original Marios. He's the good live action Mario. The bad live action Mario is named Mario. And I love another thing I love about this movie, since we're talking about what we love and what we hate. I love that their last name is not Mario. And I also love that they reference the Super Show with the commercial. I love everything about the commercial because, as someone from New York, that's a kind of local commercial you would get. Like someone would play up their Italian accent to get more Italian customers, and Italians would love it.
Dude, we get that in Mexico, where straight up white dudes would just play up being Mexican, especially if they're lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Saul Goodman, that is based on actual lawyers that are here in my state, and it is literally the same style as this commercial.
You know, now that I think about it, the random pop songs, they actually are fit in with what the Super Mario Brothers Super Show would do. Because in every episode, there would be a segment where the Koopa Troop is basically chasing Mario Brothers, Princess Peach, and Toad, and it would play to a random pop song from the 80s.
I mean, to be fair, that's because it was trying to reference Scooby-Doo.
Oh, since we're on topics, things that I like about the film, for me, I loved all the video game references.
Oh, yeah. There are so many. Mario plays Kid Icarus. Like, we get references to Mario Kart, to Donkey Kong Country, the entire all the Mario properties.
And then there's the part when he's going through the Mushroom Kingdom, they pass by the retro store, and he's like, look, all you need to do is just blow into the cartridge and it'll work. And like, yes.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice that the first time.
You didn't notice that?
No, because I was looking at the Crazy Cap store from Odyssey.
I need a Donkey Kong Country spin-off movie.
You're gonna get that, and you're also gonna get a Luigi's Mansion movie.
Oh man, that would be so fun.
At this point.
Also, eventually, I really hope that Luigi meets Daisy at some point. That's gonna be fun.
Yes.
That's probably gonna be movie 2, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Although Peach is mostly fine, don't get me wrong, I like Peach. She is a little bit more tomboyed up, which is more of Daisy's thing. So I am interested on what if Daisy does make an appearance, how they're going to differentiate the two. Since Peach is kind of stealing from Daisy a little.
They're probably gonna play up Daisy.
Anything else that I liked?
Or disliked. We might as well do both together.
Yeah. Okay, the Peaches song is... Well, for me, it's both simultaneously really funny and really cringe. I don't know why. I kind of get...
Because it's a Jack Black song.
Yeah.
Okay, I can explain why it's cringe. And it's simply because it doesn't have any variation in its lyrics. It's just one word and then I love you.
Well, there's a few more lyrics to it. But yeah. And of course, not a few days after...
Uh-oh, we lost someone.
I think we lost Tracer. I think he lost the connection.
Well, folks, it's a good thing we're not done with this segment yet because we're having a few technical difficulties, but let's continue.
But yeah, somebody did a Bowsette rendition of the song, and it's like, of course they did.
Of course they did.
I mean, that's just a female cover of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even rewrite it to be about Mario because the whole joke of Bowsette is because she rejected them both. Now they banging.
Even though the original joke was since Peach rejected both Bowser and Mario, that Bowser turned himself into a Peach lookalike date Mario to get back at Peach.
They banging. But yeah, anything else about the movie, guys? Likes and dislikes?
Let's see.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Dead air. Likes and dislikes, guys. Come on, focus.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sorg.
I think the scene with the dog could have been either like cut or like I would have preferred if they just did their job successfully and went home.
The dog.
That misses the point of the movie, though.
I'll say this about the dog: like that whole scene. It's like, why are you holding a grudge? Like, oh no, this clumsy Italian dude stepped on my bone.
You never stepped on a dog's favorite treat before, have you?
Like, I thought it was leading up to a Chain Chomp, but Chain Chomp's never appeared in the movie.
Chain Chomp wouldn't appear in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, of course they wouldn't appear in Brooklyn, but I thought it was going to reference Chain Chomp's appearing later, in the Mushroom Kingdom. Because Chain Chomps are normal, like, enemy in Bowser's army. They're pretty much dogs.
It is kind of weird they didn't use any Chain Chomps. Oh well.
We saw Bullet Bills, we saw Koopas, we saw Goombas, we saw Dry
Shy
Bones,
Guys.
we saw Shy Guys.
Sniff it.
A
sniff it.
What's
Oh!
It's a shy guy with a bullet mask.
Oh.
One thing that is a dislike, but only if you're aware of the since I've seen it in the special features. You know the council scene? We were robbed because instead of generic stupid toads, it was originally Toadsworth, Toadette, and a few other named toads.
That's why didn't they go with that?
They probably couldn't get a guy to play Toadsworth.
I actually think it's more along Nintendo.
Because it's always Nintendo for you. Like even when the Sega Saturn doesn't do well, it's Nintendo's fault.
The Sega Saturn hasn't been around in like decades, Koopa.
And we lost him
We
again.
lost him again.
Guys, don't worry about this. We'll figure this out. But yeah, like likes and dislikes. We'll keep going.
Let's see. I liked how they allowed more characters to use power-ups than just Mario and Luigi.
We get Fire Donkey Kong, and now it's a countdown till it's a thing in the games. No,
Yes.
It's not in Wonder, despite the fact that we finally got playable Daisy. We get Toad.
Yeah.
We get Toad. We get a whole bunch of Yoshis.
We get Buckenberry and Alagold. We do not get Toad.
We get Toad, and we also get Toad. We get 2 Toads for the price of 1.
I'm honestly surprised that there wasn't a Mario Party reference.
Yeah, they're probably saving it for Game 2, because if you want Mario Party, you need Wario.
True. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Wario won the first Mario Party, right?
Indeed he did. Indeed he did.
Let's see. I'm glad to see King Boo and King Baum, though I wish King Boo had his more unique design than his generic design.
They only use that design in the Luigi's Mansion games, let's be honest.
Which I don't get. Well, you have a better design.
He was in Mario Party and Mario Kart. He's a regular Boo with a crown. He's in Mario Sunshine, and for some reason he's drunk.
Is Baum King Baum dead?
No, because they're
No.
supposed to explode.
The Baum species can explode and reform. That's their stick.
Yeah, they're like Cell.
So they come back stronger than ever every
Yes.
time? That's funny.
Well, they don't come back stronger than ever, but they can explode again.
Gotcha. They're like the perfect suicide bombers.
Let's see. I was surprised the Goombas didn't like. Their whole backstory is that they betrayed, the Mushroom Kingdom, but that little detail did not get referenced at all. I think Peach would have been like that would get.
Swords? Why would they?
Throwaway.
Why would they betray the Mushroom Kingdom when they're clearly chestnuts?
Because they're mushrooms.
But they're not. They're chestnuts. They're Karibo. Karibo is Japanese for chestnut.
I don't know what to tell you. According to their their little bio,
American backstory from the
that's
American manual.
That's also in the Japanese manual. They
So-
are former residents of the Mushroom Kingdom that betrayed the Mushroom Kingdom for Bowser.
Yeah, because they were bullied by the Toads. The Toads are not nice.
Well, it depends on the toad.
Well, of course they're not nice. The princess is in another castle. What princess? We never seen a princess before.
That was a great joke.
It was hilarious.
I wonder if that blue and yellow toad. It was a blue and yellow toad, right?
I believe so.
I wonder if they are a reference to Buckenberry and Ellegold.
You mean Toad and Toad?
I refuse to refer to them as Toad and Toad.
They're Toad and Toad, like Toad is played by Key and Peele. But yeah, Tracer, you back yet?
He is. He's using his phone. I don't think we can hear him though. So
Yeah.
Sorry, people.
yeah.
But yeah, any more dislikes or likes about the movie? Because all I have for dislikes is, like I said both of them. Why wasn't Mel Brooks Cranky Kong? And why doesn't Mario love mushrooms? Everything else I fucking adore.
I mean, it's pretty much a perfect Mario movie. It's hard to come up with dislikes.
But Swords, don't you dislike the fact that Peach is a woman and therefore it's the wokest woke that ever woked?
No.
No.
Well, that's what Shadiversity seems to think.
I've actually watched Shad's take on it. It's a little bit more nuanced than that, but okay.
It's stupid. It's stupid, and he's stupid.
You don't have to agree with everything the guy says.
He likes Andor, therefore he's wrong.
No, he does. I don't think he's ever mentioned it.
Well, if he's never mentioned it, he will have to eventually, because Mauler will fucking bitch whip him until he says he loves Andor, because that's what he does.
Calm yourself, Koopa.
I'm plenty calm. I'm just hungry.
Let's see. Did anyone notice that for the Donkey Kong section, the arena was kind of a mix of not only the construction side,
But also Smash Bros. Yes.
not Smash Bros, but the Donkey Kong Donkey Kong Country Returns ruins.
It's a Smash Bros. Reference. They're fighting on a two-dimensional plane with items randomly being strewn about, and the stage is acting erratically. And this is proof that Smash is not meant to be played on Final Destination only with Fox and no items.
I mean, yeah, the fight itself is a Smash Bros. Reference, but the stage is a combination of those two areas.
Well, obviously.
I mean, this just convinces me, though, now that you said that Smash would have been better if it was the actual characters and not trophies, and been an actual crossover.
Well, we might get that, and it would be the worst idea ever. Let's not make this into a cinematic universe. But we might get that. And by the time we get that, the whole franchise will be gone down the toilet just like every other cinematic universe.
I don't think they would actually make a Super Smash Brothers movie.
You know that the possibility crossed their minds at least once.
Like, Super Smash Brothers is a game, like, it doesn't have the actual characters, so there's not really a point.
Yeah, but Mario is from the Mushroom Kingdom and not from Brooklyn, and look where we got with this movie. Adaptations are a blank check to do whatever you want. So if you ever adapt anyone out there, if you ever want to adapt the comic Englewood by Micah Curtis, you have free reign, a complete blank check to make it about singing gays, singing about having AIDS in Chicago.
Okay, but that's nonsense Twitter.
Yeah, but it's also hilarious, and I gotta kill some time to get Tracer back before we move on.
I think Tracer might eventually just tell us to go on without him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys want to move on to our next point? Ideas for sequels?
Well,
Yeah, sure. Let's go on to that.
So we
one
all...
thing that
Go ahead. Go ahead.
one
Sis.
thing that they could do, because we need someone to break Bowser out of the bottle,
Mhm.
and we also need to get Wario's villain phase out of the way.
Mhm.
And when people like him as a joke villain, when he's a villain anyways, instead of a serious threat. Like, people don't even remember Super Mario Land anymore. So, here's an idea. Wario and Waluigi, through their father Spike,
You're going insane here because Spike's never been confirmed to be their father. Spike is only confirmed to be Mario's and Luigi's boss, and he's only a little bit older than they are. You're going into headcanon territory again, my dude.
Can I actually get to the actual merits of the idea, or do you want to get lost in the small details?
If you take Spike out of it, then yes, go into the merits.
Okay. So, hearing about the exploits of Mario and Luigi and thinking that they will get rich if they go to the Mushroom Kingdom, they go into the Mushroom Kingdom, do their standard, comical ass antics, and release Bowser by accident.
In all
Or they get
likelihood,
hired by... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
in all likelihood, that's probably what's going to happen.
Or they get hired by a mysterious figure, it turns out to just be Kamek, who hires them to free Bowser. And then everything goes...
Sideways.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they're gonna introduce Wario as a villain and not have him steal Mario's castle, that's how they're gonna do it.
So, one thing I do want to see, if they do bring Wario, is Donkey Kong versus Wario.
What I want to see is, I want to see a Luigi's Mansion movie, and that's pretty much a given because that's what the Dry Bones scene basically is, just that as a movie and with the booze instead of the Dry Bones. I want to see a Yoshi's Island prequel because we've seen Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. It was completely unexpected, and we know that Yoshi is being set up.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like Trace is going to be back, so
We salute you. We salute you, man.
We're almost done anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't want any crossovers with any other Nintendo property. That's the other thing I want. I don't want Smash Bros. The movie. I don't want a crossover with Legend of Zelda because there is no way the Mario world can fit with the Legend of Zelda world. I don't want a crossover with Metroid. I don't want a crossover with Kirby. We can't have a crossover with Kid Icarus because that's the video game Mario's been playing. We could have we could sort of have a crossover with Punch-Out, but Punch-Out hardly matters.
Hey, it would be a nice Rocky homage. We could get Donkey Kong in there.
He's already the champ.
That
Little
doesn't
Max-
matter.
How do you
Rocky
do...
was the champ in other movies after.
Yeah, but you still have to have Rocky 1 and 2. And even
I'm
then, he's
telling
only the champ for 2 more movies. He abandons the title to fight Ivan Drago, and then he never gets it back because Ivan Drago beats him so senseless that he medically is unable to continue fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, Lil Mac, he coming out of retirement will sell tickets like hotcakes.
Oh yeah, Lil Mac coming out of retirement, like to fight Mason DeLine Dixon. Where have we seen that movie before?
Anyway, the sequel I would like to see. I think since you don't want any crossovers, which I kind of agree. I kind of sort of agree with you, but at the same time I kind of sort of disagree with you.
There should not be a
could work.
Nintendo cinematic universe. No more cinematic universes for anyone.
What they should do is build up for the Mario stuff. Build up to the Legend of the Seven Stars. Basically,
Maybe. Maybe.
adapt the Super Mario RPG game, or as close to it as you can get.
So basically, that would work, even though it would make some people mad that, even I would kind of be disappointed that we wouldn't get
Unless they manage to get Square Enix on board, but yeah.
But it would be like the basis of the plot is still there. Like if you ignore the paper universe being a separate universe and make the just have it's like combined universe, you could make the 7 Star Spirits take the place of
The 7 pieces of Star Road.
Yeah, and really combine the 2 plots. Have Donkey Kong and a few other characters replace Mallow and Geno. But you even have a character.
Mario has his own entire party that can replace Mallow and Geno.
You even have a character. Wario can easily replace that one guy that kidnaps Peach.
Booster.
Booster. Yeah, him.
That could actually really work.
Why would Wario want to marry Peach?
It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be exact same motives. Like he kidnaps her because he wants a ransom for money.
Or you know what else?
You're just gonna inspire Roll 34 ugly bastard of Peach and Wario.
You just have Booster still be the thing, and Wario takes umbrage with this because he looks exactly like him, and he can't have that.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
There's just one problem with that.
What?
We can't use Booster, period.
Right. Square Enix.
Like I said, if they manage to get... Okay, let's assume that they can't get Square Enix, then yeah, we just keep...
I mean, to be fair, we don't know if Square Enix is involved with the remake.
Yeah. If they can get Square Enix on board with this idea, though, and we can incorporate all the characters, including Geno and Mallow, which, to be fair, would they be able to use Smithy then?
Yeah.
Well, if we can't use Smithy, there are other demonic entities that could take Smithy's place.
True.
Just to use a Shadow Queen again.
And it would be interesting to see Bowser having to work with the heroes in this film.
I mean, you could even tie in the Star Children plot.
Or instead, you just blend it with Bowser's inside story. Except Mario and Luigi are on the outside of Bowser for this. I like Bowser's inside story, but I don't like the fact that Mario and Luigi are inside Bowser for the whole game.
Yeah.
The phrasing of that could be worded a little differently, man.
Okay, I have a movie idea for you.
Okay.
What's that?
After we have a Donkey Kong movie, crossover movie where Bowser and King K. K. Rool team up.
Denied. No crossovers.
You're no fun, Koopa.
This is set in the same universe.
I know, but I don't even want. I don't even want that. I don't want Batman teaming up with Nightwing.
You're the no fun swap bot. That's who you are, Koopa.
I am the I am the let's not get carried away swap bot. I am the let's not turn this into Smash Bros. The movie autism levels.
That is not Smash Brothers. Like you said, that is Batman and Nightwing.
May I?
That's not even Batman and Superman. That is Batman and Nightwing.
How about instead of doing it as a movie, they do it as a game first, and then we'll talk.
Okay, that would be interesting. Anyway, on to other ideas. Now, this is technically not a sequel to the Mario universe, but I would love to see other movies around the Nintendo properties.
Oh yeah, they just must never cross over.
I would love to see a Metroid movie. I would love to see a Kirby movie. I would love to see... Well, maybe not Kirby.
Well, Metroid I see a lot better as, like, an anime series than as a movie.
I would love to see a Star Fox film. Like,
oh, yeah.
Star Fox as a film would be great.
I would like to see a Kirby and a Legend of Zelda movie, but I have no faith in Hollywood to actually be able to pull it off.
I mean, Hollywood, no, but Nintendo is supposed to be opening their own studios after the success of Illumination's Mario movie.
Legend of Zelda would be a pretty interesting film.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the question for Link. Would you rather him have a speaking line, or
no? Fairy talks for him.
He never speaks. He only utters one line, and it is, "Well, excuse me, princess."
I will accept that.
Here's the thing. Link does actually talk, but he's only said. And
next you're gonna tell me Mario doesn't talk, is able to talk outside of about the potato.
He's only said he's only answered his name. He's told people his name. He said yes or no, and he's basically written down in his diary a whole bunch of stuff that was then cut because the English translators don't do their job properly anymore.
What are you talking about? Link's never had a diary in the game. Now, there's this character also named Link from this game called Breath of the Wild that seems like a Zelda game, but actually isn't, who has a diary.
Koopa, just because you dislike Breath of the Wild severely does not make it not a Zelda game.
Do I need to show you the Gundam again?
The Gundam will not change my mind on this. You can show me 1,000 Gundams.
As soon as we're done, we're going to make you watch the Gundam again.
The Gundam is from Tears of the Kingdom, not Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
Which is a DLC pack for Breath of the Wild. But yeah, let's wrap this up because we've barely been on track, but we've been going for like an hour and a half now. And I think our only audience member went to bed.
To be fair, I think we basically covered everything we wanted to.
Yeah. So that was the Mario movie. We love it.
Yeah, I look forward to other films that they do. Hopefully, one day.
Oh, they will. Like I said, Nintendo is looking into opening their own animation studio after this.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Any closing thoughts before we hit the stop button?
I think I said my piece.
Swordsman?
Fun.
All right, so let me just talk about my channel a little bit. My next video will come out next Friday, but then the week after that, me and Swordsman are going to come back. Squasher and Tracer have opted out of this, and we're going to be talking about a little something else. We'll reveal that when we get there, and then I have another video lined up. And then on Halloween night, instead of doing on a Friday, I'm going to give you guys some content on a Tuesday. We're going to come back again, and we're going to do one more stream just for Halloween. So, yeah, that's the rest of my content for the channel. You're only getting 2 videos this month, but in exchange, you're getting 3 live streams. So, yeah, that's the Mario movie. We love it. So, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
And end broadcast.